Today we're doing a battle between all of the animal kingdoms, literally. So for those of you that don't know, Worldbox just had a huge update where they basically made it where any creature in the game can be made into an intelligent version of themselves. So they can build kingdoms, they can make armies, they can do all that. Basically all the same stuff that the four initial races could do. And I felt like we had to do this at least once where we had them all fight. It's just kind of, I feel like obligated to do that. Just because there's so many different kinds of new kingdoms, and just curious to see how they all behave and everything. So for this video, I'm only doing the kind of animal variations just to keep it even, because I figure if we put demons or angels or anything in there, or aliens, they're just gonna obviously win. So this way it's kind of a more even playing field. So we're starting off at year 10. I'm gonna give them till year 100 to build their kingdoms up, hopefully get their numbers up and build some big armies, and then we'll just fight all of them and watch them all kill each other. What's funny that I noticed is I think sheep are the only ones with these super greedy traits so far. Yeah, so far they're the only kingdom that are just taxing their citizens up the wazoo. They got high tribute, so the kings are just getting tons of money, and then they also have high tax. I'm curious to see how that goes, if all their citizens are just gonna starve. Yeah, we'll see. What's gonna be interesting about this though is it's gonna be a lot of kingdoms that I think multiply slower but have higher health and damage, versus kingdoms that multiply super quick but are super weak. So the bears, I don't think multiply super quick, but they do have really high health. They have 315 health to start, and what's their damage 17 to 34 damage. And she doesn't even have any kind of weapon. That's just how much damage they do right off the bat. They do, I guess, have really slow attack speed and regular speed, which, might be a little bit of a disadvantage. But the rabbits, on the other hand, I think just have absolute doo-doo. Yeah, health and damage. They got 37 health, literally a tenth of what the bears have. And 10 to 21 damage isn't terrible, but their thing is that they do multiply really quick. I don't know if they have this trait yet, but they should have, high fecundity. So their birth rate is pretty exaggerated. I guess rats have that as well. Piranhas, frogs, and apparently Greg has high fecundity. I mean, with a face like that, how could you say no to that? All right, we just passed year 30. I'm curious to see who is in the lead. It might actually be the foxes, weirdly enough, but let's double check. As far as kingdoms go, yeah, foxes are in the lead with 76 and 10. Then you got rabbits, obviously 67 and 8. Wolves 62 and 9, and llamas at 62 and 11. Oh, and monkeys and rats are right behind them too. Well, I guess we should pay attention to the foxes and see what they're all about. I'm curious to see what kind of subspecies they are, what kind of traits they have. Allows species to steal items during melee attacks. That's one of their subspecies traits. That's interesting. The raccoons have that, of course they do. They like to take long naps. Prone to mental instability, that's funny. Yeah, I guess that would make sense for foxes. Who else do you think would have that? I feel like monkeys would probably have that trait. Maybe cats, because they do just like to go insane sometimes. Okay, yeah, rats are doing pretty well still. I do want to see how much armor they have. 6 army so far and 69 population. I still am a little bit curious as to how kingdoms get better materials, or how they develop better materials, or even if they do that anymore. Because before you could see oh, they're making silver, or they're making bronze or whatever now. But now there's nothing in the culture itself that indicates when they're making better materials. So I'm curious if they can just make whatever they want right off the bat, or I don't know if there is something going on that we just don't see. I'm not really sure. Apparently the llamas see the other cultures as inferior. That's I don't know if that means that much coming from them, honestly. Man, I think crocs are actually doing the worst as far as population goes, but I think they are pretty strong. Not quite as strong as the bears, but they do have high damage, 16 to 32 damage, and only 160 health, which is interesting. I would think that they would have more health. They're also not super fast, but they do have good critical chance, I guess, Unless that's just one of these traits. Oh yeah, they do have, this guy's attractive, so he gets better critical chance. I do really like their houses though. How they're just kind of like little watery caves. Turtles also are moving pretty slow, but that makes sense. Snakes are not doing the best. I thought that I turned on, yeah, terramorphing. Structures spread their species' natural biome over time. So I'm curious, so it's odd that we're not really seeing that. Unless it's just really slow, I'm not really sure. But I don't know if different creatures do better in different environments. So I made sure that was on just in case. But the penguins are definitely doing it. Slowly converting the maple biome into the snow biome, so that's cool. All right, year 50, let's see who's in the lead now. Might still be foxes actually. Yeah, foxes up to 280, 60 army. Llamas 233, 34, rabbits 227, 29, and rats 220 and 35. Then you got monkeys, dogs, and wolves, not super far behind. Oh, I guess piranhas are doing the worst. I thought that it was crocs, but I guess crocs aren't doing too bad. Well, I mean, they're doing pretty bad, but not as bad as they were. I guess at this point we should take a look at the top cultures, though it doesn't super matter because they do kind of overlap a bit. But let's see what's sort by members, sort by villages, sort by age. I guess we can't really see what the best cultures are at this point. But let's definitely take a look at some of these cultures and see what they got going on. So this is the bears culture. See if they have anything interesting. They see other cultures as inferior. I guess we knew that. Axe lovers, solitude seekers, training potential. Culture values training, giving double progress with each level up. That's gonna be really good, especially with how OP the bears are without any of that. Dang, rats have really spread themselves out. Let's see what they got going on in their culture. I guess nothing too interesting. They are a hive society, so they're kind of packing all their houses in there. Ethnocentric. Oh, expansionist. That's why they're spreading so quick. And then the dogs also have that trait, so their kingdom's humongous, up to 204 population. They're definitely a good contender. I think they're pretty well-rounded, and they also have a good amount of population. Let's take a look at one of their armies and see what they got going on. Oh dang, okay, they don't have as much health as I thought they would. Okay, this guy is not a good example. He's got a terrible trait. Let's look at our regular person, see what they got going on. 138 health is not bad, 17 to 35 damage. And that's without any armor. I would think that they would be a little bit faster. They only have 11 speed, and they have 1 attack speed. Unless this guy is just really slow. Oh, that's funny. The chickens have chicken coops as their, buildings. Feels like they'd want to avoid that, but whatever. I'm surprised that they're not multiplying a little bit quicker. Yeah, I'd be surprised if chickens lasted very long, too. They have kind of doo-doo health, and they also have doo-doo damage. 8 to 14. I think that's, the worst we've seen so far. 67 health. And yeah, this guy even has a weapon and he only has 8 to 14 damage. All right, year 75. We finally had some religions start to come into play. So I think the top one right now is Mifu, who was started by the llamas. It doesn't seem super interesting. Path of Unity, they just have more diplomacy, I guess, which really is not going to matter for this game. The cats, I think, had an interesting one. Oh, the chickens have a pretty crazy religion. I guess some of these I haven't even unlocked yet. Make trees and plants fight your enemies. Whoa. Okay, that's pretty cool. Silence will help if any of the other races have spells. Lightning? Yeah, maybe I judged the chickens a little too harshly. I mean, their numbers, their health, their damage is all
just crap.
But their religion adds some interesting stuff. Oh, who is this? The rabbits have an interesting one, which they're also one that I think needs it. Create grass, it doesn't really matter. The souls of dead beans? What do you mean? Enhance the speed. Oh, I guess they just make coffee and that makes them faster. That's kind of funny. Summon tornado. I guess that's a really good one. Cast vegetation. Ability to spawn plants and trees at will. I don't know if that's super useful, but interesting. Then we got Meow Meow. They got the silence one. They have the coffee. They have lightning, and they have right of descent, which isn't really going to matter for this because we're just sending everyone to war anyways. Yeah, nothing else too interesting, I don't think. We got a few other cultures that have the lightning one. And what is this one? Right of Shattered Earth, Calls forth an earthquake. Okay. Okay, I'm really curious to see how much they actually can use that. I think this is the bear's religion. Yeah, there's so many different like factors now with this update that I genuinely don't know who's gonna pull ahead. I just know that it's not gonna be the piranhas. But as far as population goes at the moment, we got rats. Oh, llamas actually. Up to 700, which is surprising. Rabbits actually passed up rats. They're up to 670. Rats are down to 650. Foxes are still pretty high at 560. Yeah, I guess the rabbits' advantage is they have that one culture trait where they just try and pack all their houses in like super tight. Then rhinos are another one that's very much high health, high damage. So yeah, like this guy, we got 257 health, and then his max damage is 81, and he doesn't even have like that much. I think they pretty much start with all these traits. So really it's just his bronze axe that's helping him out. So rhinos are definitely another good contender. Scorpions, I think they have like a venom trait. If they do, that'd be really cool. Yeah, venomous, poison immunity, so that'll give them a nice little advantage. They do high damage, but they don't have like tons of health. All right, let's go ahead and keep fast forwarding. Okay, 99 and 100. It is time. So caster votes now. I have no idea. I think it'll become a little more clear once they've been fighting for a little bit who's kind of pulling ahead. All right, we'll go ahead and grab the spite tool, and we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I just really don't know. I would almost say the llamas. I think that they're pretty well balanced, and they have a good amount of population. I mean, the most population actually, at 1200. But again, there's all the weird stuff with the religions where, you know, cats and rabbits do have like some crazy stuff. So yeah, I really just don't know. Let's see what's going on with them up here. Oh, monkeys actually have just a ridiculous amount of army. 142, and I think cats are kind of their first target here. I'm not entirely sure why everything's on fire. If this is this like one of their traits or something? Yeah, you got a full scale like monkey invasion. I'm not really sure what the cats are doing over here. They're just like sitting there. Okay, it's coming under capture, 5%. I'm sure they're gonna take this, especially with this like huge army coming in the north. Okay, hyenas might actually be one of the first ones out. They're like kind of completely surrounded. It looks like rabbits are coming after them. You got crabs, and you got llamas are also taking some stuff. There's a couple of their colonies coming under capture. 90, 100. So that was just captured by the crabs. And then this one as well is getting captured, 5%. And this one up here. Oh, sheep just got out. Frogs just got out. That's surprising. They must have been ganged up on. Sheep was like a pretty big empire, I think. They were right here, I believe, right next to the monkeys. The monkeys just absolutely destroyed them. Oh, and wolves are getting taken over. Is it by the cats? Who else can summon tornadoes? Oh, actually, I think the monkeys can. Though if it was the monkeys that did that, it seemed like that tornado like mostly targeted their guys. So I don't know how effective that really was, but oh well. Yeah, wolves are almost out, down to 12 population. Armadillos aren't doing too well, down to 70. Then cows almost out. It'd be funny if the piranhas are still around. I don't think they are. Yeah, this has actually been a very surprising turn of events. I thought rats would have a good chance, but they're just getting killed off so quick. They had like 900 population to start. Now they're down to 150. And I'm surprised to see the crabs doing so well. 400 population. Llamas are still doing really well. 670. I think they still have the most, but monkeys aren't super far behind. And then dogs also are like up there with them as well. Oh dang, chickens just have one soldier. Let's follow him. Oh, and there he goes. Rip. Is that a snake? No, it's crab guy. Crazy enough, it's only been 5 years and so much has happened. Let's see what the kingdoms look like. Or mostly just who's left. We got dogs, llamas, monkeys, crabs, turtles, rhinos, bulls, rats, goats, scorpions, and crocs. Those scorpions and crocs are pretty much on their way out. Also, goats aren't doing too well either. Yeah, there's a few of these I'm pretty happy to see. I mean, dogs and llamas and monkeys, we all knew were gonna do pretty well, but I am just surprised and happy to see the crabs are up there, turtles are up there, and rhinos are up there. Yeah, we have a lot of different religions going around. Mejpe is the big monkey one. And I guess that's the same as it was before, but they have the cat one now as well. So the monkeys, I think, have the most or the best like additional powers. There wasn't anything else like too crazy that we saw with the other kingdoms. Well, I guess the dogs, Hina is like a dog relation, or Waf is a dog religion. This has some interesting ones. They get bubble shield and they can do the like thunderstorm thing. Oh, and you can actually see some of the dogs with the bubble shield. Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty OP power to have because that adds like so much. Or maybe it's not that good. Mass 100 plus 100. What does that even mean? Just how big they are? Or I guess that's probably just how big the shield is. And then armor plus 5. Okay, it's not like, it is good, but it's not as good as I thought it was. I thought that they were just like genuinely invincible. Okay, dogs just continue on their conquest up to almost 800 population. It is unfortunate that the llamas are in such a bad spot. They are doing really well, but they're kind of surrounded. It seems like you got monkeys kind of coming down from the north, crabs attacking from the south, and then like dogs attacking from the east. Oh no, the rat's down to 1 population. So sad. I think it's this one like soldier here. Oh dang, and look at this big old boy. The rhinos can be so big. Oh, he does have a power up. Is that must be part of their religion, but he is just humongous. Let's actually give this guy a star. Rar Kark. But yeah, we definitely can't underestimate the rhinos because they, you know, they don't have huge numbers, but pretty much every kingdom that they've gone after, they've just been able to conquer like pretty easily. The dogs have grown into a huge empire though, up to 1020. Crabs are actually doing pretty well, up to 560. I'm curious to see what their armies are looking like. I don't think they have like the armor making trait yet, or if they ever get that, I don't know. Yeah, surprisingly their culture is pretty like uninteresting. They do kind of like pack their houses in, which is why they've been able to have a big population, but other than that, they don't really have a lot going for them. Rhinos and dogs are starting to clash. You got a 30 and a 9 heading up. They also have that one guy that we gave a star. He's heading up too. He's not as big as he used to be, but he's still like super strong. Oh, look at him go. He's like trying to take the city over literally completely by himself. Crap, yeah, our guy only has 3 health and he's still just going for it. Oh, he actually got captured by the dogs.
Traitor.
Now, I am happy to see that he'll at least survive this conflict, though who knows for how long. It's actually just insane how well the rhinos are holding the dogs back. They super like kick the hornet's nest with the dogs. I feel like they've just been going super hard after the rhinos, but somehow even with the rhinos' very small armies, they've been like keeping their borders secure pretty much. Llamas, still very surprised they're doing so well, given the fact that literally everyone hates them. It's probably just a matter of time at this point. This is their last army here. Once this falls, I think their entire civilization is going to be done for. Okay, turtles finally got out by the rhinos, and the dogs finally broke through the rhinos' defenses, but the rhinos are setting up some more army. Surprisingly, the monkeys really do not have that much army. And all the army they do have is kind of going after the llamas down here, which is concerning with the like dogs kind of targeting them. Okay, we got a rhino army coming up to meet the dogs. We'll see how this goes. It's a little unfair because they actually have some rhinos on their side. This guy's just running for his life. And surprisingly, we're starting to see some adamantine stuff show up. I think that this is the first adamantine weapon that we've seen. We're maybe witnessing the end of the llamas. We got dogs coming in. The monkeys are also here. We'll see who ends up taking it. Looks like the dogs took it over. So crazy, it's come down to 4 empires on every corner of the map. We got the monkeys, dogs, rhinos, and crabs. Dogs still like dominate in population, but their armies just really suck. They get killed like so quick. I don't know, they really just need to start working on armor and better weapons. Okay, this could mark a turning point. This is the first time the dogs have made it this far south into the rhinos' base, and they've been able to hold on to this city for quite a while. They also took this like super huge piece of land over here, and then the monkeys have really been whittled down. Dogs sent in this huge army of 130, and it seems like they're just kind of destroying the monkeys. They're just getting tossed around like beanbags. To be fair, I mean, the dogs are also kind of being thrown around. Does this like, I don't know if this actually does damage. It might just like stun them for a second. It is interesting. I'm seeing like a few creatures that got out quite a while ago that joined up with the kingdoms. I saw like an armadillo. Yeah, this guy down here. And then I saw a cat guy just a second ago too. Yeah, there's a few armadillos. There is a cat guy in here, and there's also a llama. I'm also seeing a lot of like skeletons. And I'm not sure how they work, if they're actually affiliated with one of the kingdoms, because that's got to be one of the like religion traits. They don't really seem to be doing anything. At least it seems like they're not really on anyone's side. They're just kind of hanging out. Okay, that huge army has been whittled down to 40, but they have taken a lot of monkeys population with them. Let's see what the religions look like. Oh, it's just like absolute chaos. Oh, Fuin is maybe the dog's like most prominent one. And they got Cast Curse, Summon Lightning. I'm definitely seeing a lot of tornadoes. Okay, this religion has tornadoes, so it must be the monkeys that are summoning them. Okay, I think this is actually it for the monkeys. They down to 2 colonies left and 25 population. We'll see if the dogs or the crabs can take these, because they're both kind of invading at the same time. Yeah, it's probably gonna be the dogs. They have so many soldiers coming in. 20, 30, 40. Oh, the lightning is what's setting everyone on fire. That makes sense. 90 and 100. And this one is getting captured. Okay, they just killed it. Never mind. Monkeys are officially out. We're down to 3 empires left. But yeah, just crazy how powerful the rhino citizens are. Rhinos barely have any army, but they keep fending off these huge armies from the dogs. Though the dogs might actually take this one. We'll see. Oh, just barely. They just barely saved it. All right, let's go and fast forward a little bit because nothing has really happened in quite a while. We're also like past year 215, which is crazy. Well, over the course of a long time, it seems like the dogs have finally kind of pulled ahead in this war against the rhinos. Rhinos are down to like 126 population, and dogs just keep sending in huge armies. So I think it's just a matter of time now. All right, it's another colony down, so it's just their capital left. Whoa, are these snakes? There's still snakes. This whole colony is pretty much mostly snakes. You even got like a snowman in here for some reason. Yeah, this is kind of the rhinos' last stand. We got a 36, which they'll probably be able to take out, but we got some more like huge armies coming down. Okay, and their capital is at 6%, starting to get captured, and the armies are just now arriving. You know what's interesting? I guess we haven't seen any of the armies like summon earthquakes, because that was something that one of the like religion traits could do. All right, 60%, 70%. 80, 90, and that's it. Dang, yeah, rhinos held on for 170 years with only, I don't know, they never really got past like 400 population. And now I just feel terrible for the crabs because there's no way they're gonna win this war. There's so much army coming in. Their armies are pretty decent, but it's just not gonna be enough. There's just like so many snowmen in here, it's kind of hilarious. Are they just attacking everyone? What are they doing? Peaceful Monsters is turned on. So yeah, I don't think they're attacking the armies. I think they're just, I don't actually know what they're doing. They're doing something. Somehow people are getting frozen, but I don't think they're actually doing it on purpose. Yeah, this is definitely a full-scale invasion here. It's hard to see with just the insane amount of snowmen there are, but they have so much army in here. Yeah, probably like over 400 or 500 army against 300 crabs. Yeah, who is down here? I guess the crocs are down here. That's their buildings. They also conquered the chickens. Then you can see the crabs like actual buildings up here in the north. Why are there so many snowmen? It's almost tempting to, you know, screw it. The crabs are gonna lose. Let's actually turn off Peaceful Monsters. And they need to kill these snowmen. All right, now we just watch the chaos ensue. Yeah, they are definitely killing the dogs, but they're also, it seems like just killing each other too. Crabs down to 2 colonies left. 75 population. This one's about to fall. And 80, 90 and 100, 1 colony left. Yeah, they've definitely cleared out a fair amount of the snowmen, but there still are like a lot of them. Okay, I think this is it. We got 5 population, 70%, 80%, 90, and 100. So crabs are out and dogs officially win. All right, well, I guess that answers that question. I definitely was not expecting the dogs to pull ahead, but I guess they are like fairly well-rounded. I mean, they have like 140 health, They do pretty good damage, but even still, I would have thought, because I don't think they have like a bonus to population growth as far as I know, but let's actually take a look at that. Yeah, they really don't have anything that makes their population grow super quick, and they also don't really have, well, maybe they do actually. I was gonna say, I don't know if they have like a cultural trait that makes them build a lot of buildings or something. They have, oh, they do. Dense dwellings, expansionists. Those were actually some really good traits for them to have, because they do have buildings like really packed in here, and they expanded really quick so early on in the game. So that really like is what won the game for them. Because again, they themselves like kind of suck, but I guess, you know, if because they got so much land and were able to just multiply so quick, I think that's ultimately what won them the game. But it was cool to see, I mean, of everyone, the crabs to do so well. I was not expecting that. And then the rhinos, surprisingly, they just were like absolute tanks. Yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch. I'm definitely looking forward to like playing around with these new subspecies more. And yep, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.